You see all those gravestones, all those dead people? If you don't want to end up like that too, you need to buy my new healing product. I'm just kidding with you. We're at the Mind Body Spirit Festival and this was the only quiet place we could find to come and do another one of these films, or actually I think this is the first one of these films, for the Healing Clinic, Barefoot Doctors Healing Clinic. And what we're going to talk about today is self-love. Now, self-love is an expression that is, well, loving yourself is something that's advised so often that people have gone blank on it. It doesn't really mean anything anymore. You kind of know, yeah, I know I need to love myself more, but what does it actually mean? How do I love myself more? Well, let me just start with the idea of love in general. Love is not really to do with sentiment. Love is not even to do with being lofty or saintly in any way, or even being kindly. It's about simply relaxing the chest and allowing the energy of the heart center to flow freely, which it will do as soon as you soften the middle of your chest and relax it. It's like the two halves of the chest open like a pair of sliding doors to reveal the beautiful, unique essence of you sitting right here. And that naturally wants to radiate love. Now, all that the self-love means is that you include yourself in that radiance. Why would you want to sacrifice yourself and make others more important in terms of receiving your love than you? You must be equally as important as everybody else, so that when the effusion of love occurs from the center of your chest, it radiates and encompasses you too. You include yourself in that. That means that you stop taking yourself so personally. It's almost as if, in fact this is the exercise, that you come back behind yourself. It's as if you come out the back of your head and you are suddenly very big because you're no longer encapsulated in the human form. And you're like looking down on the back and the top of your head. And you see this local self, this body and the personality and the mind and the memories and the fears and the opinions and the prejudices and the complexes and the hang-ups and the joy and the aspirations and the fear and all the rest of it. And you think, oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. Because you are just suddenly filled with compassion for this being that is you, that's going through all the trials and tribulations of this world, that drives itself halfway around the bend, worrying about missing out on things or not coming up to scratch with things or doing whatever it is. When you allow yourself to be included in the radiance of energy from your own heart, and you can come back behind yourself to kind of look at yourself objectively with compassion, it's really clear that you are not who you think you are at all. So really this idea of loving yourself firstly is about having compassion for this local constructed being, this body and personality, but then coming into the greater self that stands behind it, the background presence of you. And the love of that is everywhere. The love from the background presence is just the love of the universe, and that's what it really means to love yourself. It's the same or a different way of putting allowing the Tao to love you. You know, this thing, God loves you, God loves you too. That's all it really is. It's you as God, you as the background presence, loving being here, and that includes you. I think I'm sounding like I'm waffling to my own ears, but if you can press the center of your chest with your finger so that you get an ache, you press hard enough to get a bit of an ache, and then you turn the finger in I'm making a clockwise circle very slowly. You'll feel as you do that a sense of profound connection with the background. As you do that, if you can allow yourself in your mind to come back behind you, you come out the back of your head, and so that you're feeling very huge behind your own head, and you look down at your head, and as you do, press with the other finger on the crown, and that's where you're looking at from the big self. You're looking down at where your finger is touching, and from there, from the big self, which is way up there, you're just looking down and you are just loving, you're blessing this self. The big self will talk to the small self and it will have a message for it, and it will usually be along the lines of, you're doing alright, you're fine, you are, you're beautiful, I love you. Allow that kind of message to come through. It will come in its own words to you. So as you're pressing here and here with the massive version of you behind, compassionately looking down at yourself, Allow the message to come through, whatever it is, but it will be along the lines of you're okay. If it comes through as you're a shitbag and you're doing this all wrong, you know that is not your higher self talking. That is coming from the self-critical part of you, which is something that we'll discuss in another video. So there you go. Press here, come out behind you, look down on yourself with compassion. Allow the message to come from the big self to the small self, and then work with that. Write it down, repeat it over and over and over again. You're alright, you are. You're beautiful, you are. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything about you is beautiful. Just know it. And actually, that's the message. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything about you is beautiful. All you have to do is know it. That's all. Just know it. We'll be back soon with another healing video. Thank you very much for watching.